environmentalists that read a lot of books on the green scam. You know, I could get angry, but if people buy into what they're saying about the EV cult and I got to have a gas car, go for it. Australia's going into green carbon, green hydrogen. So I got talking to some older people that are wealthy, and they said the problem is I agree with them. A hybrid car of green hydrogen, and it's a cult too. They're always coming out with little riddles. So what's going on here? I was in the Green Party of Canada. I see Andrew Shears and all these yo-yos they throw. He lost, but he's back. He was fighting to keep. They just pocket lined in there. They get people angry. So we got a very angry society to keep this order of fossil fuels going. And they'll probably attack me here. But sticks and stones will break my bones, and you can attack this video. I'm going to tell you something. We know you're getting paid by these commodity markets that are really going to fall. They're dying now, they're just screaming loud. I'm dying, I'm melting. That's what's going on. So you hear all this rubbish. Carbon capture doesn't work. It's another pocket line trick. It's, if I get garbage coming in here, I get rid of it and don't get more. Minimalization? That doesn't make sense. Carbon capture and offsetting. Oh, look at Australia. Scott Morrison, he was buying coal. And I looked at this buying carbon credits. Did you see that? Interesting. Just go and deforest forests and we give you a carbon credit. Do you know what's going on? Passing the buck. This happened if we go back into history, it was happening when the Bronze Age came in. There was all sorts of rubbish going on. They didn't want to switch from the Iron Age. So we're going into a renewable sector where it's going to be cheaper, but they tell lies. So, discernment. How do you discern? Nobody discerns anymore. They're watching everything. I think some people are. I think living long enough to see all this change of resistance, understanding what's going on and being open-minded and really thinking they're full of it. Because I know lots of people are full of it. And we figured this out. Scammers, they've been scamming us for years. Aren't we getting smarter to not trust things? Or are we what we call the storyline that's being bought? My dad was a racist. I'm not going to admit it. I'm going to admit it. My dad taught me a lot of racism. Am I racist? I love people. I don't. Something happened to me. I got more spiritually involved and I started loving people instead of hating them and seeing differences. And I don't blame people. This society of racism, homophobia, transgender phobia, everything. What's the sense of it? It's a collective of anger. And how powerful is anger? Well, it's a real powerful, toxic thing like Nazis used. And misinformation, this is propaganda by these commodity markets. I was into commodities for a while. They don't make much money if you're right at the bottom, and I gave up on it. So I don't give a damn. What are you going to make money on, Greg? Well, I built some services up there. I'm going to help people get ahead. Can I change this country? Well, I put about 50% of my income will be coming out of this country for this year. I'm doing imports, saddles and tack. I'm going to help horses. They're eating them. They say God gave us dominance over the planet. We used to ride horses. And I believe in animal rights and justice. But what can I do? You know, these Nazi times, Schindler was a Nazi, right? Joseph Schindler. But he changed and saved lives. He worked within the system. And he changed and saved a lot of Jewish people's lives. He transferred them from one camp to another till they got to safety. And the Allies came and released them. He was a hero, even though he's a Nazi. I'm living in an oil fascist country right now. And there's shears, all the attacks on Trudeau. You know, all Trudeau's been doing is sort of mediating to come make things better with the United Nations on the thing. But they're going on here and they're saying, oh, it's a cult. The United Nations looking at climate change and making moves. Who are you to say this? We know that fossil fuels have been doing this. Things aren't always predicted like you show, these graphs and charts. You use all sorts of rubbish to get things going. It's the end. You're like a dying dead man. Shut up, you're dead. Face it, if you don't change, you're a dodo bird. Australia is changing to a renewable sector, and I think and I think China is too. I know they are. I think, and they'll be ahead of everybody. The dodo birds don't change. I remember Tommy Roberts wrote a bit about a guy that everybody was doing the same damn thing. The war was out. Remember this? The war was out, and he cashed in and made millions because nobody else would do it. The people that get into the renewable sector will do better. So, can I ask you something? What's your investment in? Derivatives and stock market and commodity markets of selling this stuff? Well, I saw a woman down there. The family bought a house in Queensland. That house took 7 years of investment. It was off the grid. They got 2 Teslas. That keeps that damn thing going. You know, we can go to biofuels like, oh, they're attacking Richard, Sir Richard Bronson. They attacked him for making canola oil for aircraft. Can you tell me if these guys are on the up and up? Andrew Shears was trying to get against Trudeau. What? Oh, he had a whole pile of people murdered in Nova Scotia. So he made a law banning 1,497 fully automatic firearms. Killed a lot of people, crazy people. So they said that's wrong. They're all drug addicts down there. I said, I'll get the cops around knocking your door. SWAT team. You got firearms in there to fully automatic. They can come in and crash the door down. Oh, they won't do that. I call them. And they quit. I don't like drug users having guns. I don't really like it because they need the fix. So, what was his sense to get by? How long has this been going on? We had a referendum, right, in Canada to have get rid of the first past the post. They went against it. Progressive conservatives. They've always been going against referendums. Don't vote that way. So we got a power in politics, polarization. We got all these TV, radio stations, and TV, and everything polarized to tell you this is wrong. But they're paid off by the commodity markets. You can see it all everywhere. They're attacking, and I wondered, and I traced them down. They were attacking Cornell Institute for the plant-based diet, and they said we debunked that China study. Did you? I read the rebuttal by the professor there. I don't think he did do much. And who was it? The commodity market. It was the meat producers. See what's going on? So I read Diet for a Small Planet in 1971. You ever read that? I think you should. It's better than eating crickets. Better than eating crickets. Yeah. And is it a communist book? No. No, it's a book on economics. So how much water, how much energy is used to grow beef and cattle compared to plant-based diet? The Egyptians always stored grain and everything. We can do that. Oh no. So the commodity market screwed things up. It was made to help farmers. Now we have farm aid because they pretty well overextend farms, overgrow. They overextend them with loans, more incentives, and control. Controlled by Monsanto's or Baird. They can't keep the means of their production, which is their seed production. Farmers learned genetics of making heirloom seeds and plants. It's gone. Because the Roundup goes to making corn, soy, and wheat. Good commodity market. So what's oh yeah, sugar. Make corn and sugar, corn syrup, which is really good for you because you can sell lots of pop and rot teeth out. I know some people like coffee. I'm drinking black coffee. I drink black coffee. I don't drink sugar. My teeth are all rotted out from pop. Face it. I made mistakes. Tastes good, but it gets you fat. Even diet pop. Because any dentist will tell you it rots your enamel. Oh, yeah. So Trudeau comes along, and I think that's what he done. I'm going to use it while he's in power. And that's the dental plan. I don't know how long I'm here. I'm just starting the business and getting some money. And, I might want to get this going. I might live on the train. But I'm making money and doing e-commerce, doing life coaching and energy healing, transformational life coaching, selling saddles across Canada to the United States. I'm going to have them shipped down to the States. Nobody was getting this going. I don't know why I saw it there. Cheaper. They say they're inferior. All the Brits say. I look at them and I've shown them to equestrians and people in Alberta. They look good. They're good leather. And I looked at the price. State of Florida, a dressage saddle, $8,000 European from Europe. Them, a lot cheaper. They're handmade. They're not all handmade. Some I got one manufacturer, but they're well made, and they're using Turkish leather. That's where their tanneries are. So what am I looking at? A country like India and Pakistan that got into microloans started making a product cheaper. That is what globalization is for, to lower the cost. Is it disloyal? No. There's nobody can afford saddles and stuff now. Because the economy. So you look at what is cheaper. Undercut them? Hell yeah. Why not? These people have worked hard to try to get this going. They want out of India and Pakistan. I'll tell you why. They're begging. Because Putin's knocking on the door in China. They're worried about too. They hate China. Over the Himalayas. I don't think China's as bad. But Putin's an oil monger. And the Ukraine will tell you that. So this is, look at the wars. I think when Nixon, that was in the Gulf. That was all over oil. It wasn't over terrorism. It was a diversion. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, what was that over? I think if you look at it, they're cutting off their oil energy supplies. They got mad and they built aircraft carriers and they bombed Pearl Harbor and they bombed Port Darwin. Every war is over oil. So now we're looking at China's just shifted. These are old stories. China is going to tidal currents and renewable. It's they've had a lot of problem getting coal across from Australia. So that really takes a kicker into the mining sector of coal. So they have to shift to something. So those billionaires that have been mining resources, they've been mining really good metals and ore and things to make the economy, have shifted to renewable sector. But are they scammers? Are they cheats? No, they see the opportunity of making more money. More money. So there's a lot of lies going on right now because the old order wants to keep the money. The new boys are stepping in with renewables. And I like some of the cars coming out. All we have to do is develop better battery systems. And that can happen. You think computers came out, when we were using computers, they massively expanded and developed. Yeah. Like the little laptops. They're incredible now. Batteries are developing. They're not just stuck. So what are they telling you? Yep. A car go right across Australia with solar voltaic panels. You're getting aircraft to fly with solar voltaic. Ships can really cut down their fuel by putting sails up. I mean, passenger ships, just a spinnaker that would help the energy system. There's a lot of things we can do. Well, not. It's all hidden away. Because it's a commodity market system of free market capitalism. Please read The End of Growth. Heisenberg. And that's what's going on. That market's starting to crash. We know the United States is at $31 billion in debt or more. Racism's back. What the hell is that about? Canada, I've never seen it so bad. And it's 1.4 trillion. That's a lot of debt. A lot of debt. The problem is you got things that you can help you in Canada, but you don't look at it. If you could get through this, not vote for those boys, and get into buying gold and silver, you need to get a democracy. You're letting those guys in, they're going to screw this country. So you're being told, and I've been told this too, it's just that choice or none. That's not true. There's choices. There's the Green Party, the NDP. Well, they're communists. They're not communists. They put the healthcare system in. Joy Smallwood. Alberta was working good with Rachel Notley. Come on. She was sort of mediating with the energy sector, but I'll tell you, she wasn't putting a block down on a moratorium on electric renewables. Because the energy sectors costs a lot out in Alberta if they can't ship the hydro. The ranches and places out there are going to be paying really high prices, or they're just going to be printing money. Look at what she's doing. She's trying to get rid of the Canada pension. Get rid of my pension? I better make some money. She's terrible. You got some terrible players. And Andrew Schmidt, oh, he's going to get the guns back. I said, the military man, he wants to get all these guns back. Hey, boss, We have the guns. The police have them because I work with the police because I got a daughter here and I haven't checked the place. We don't want them having the guns. They're all the criminals. You know how many drug addicts there's around here? This housing market is full of it's full of it's all laundered money. Hell's Angels, police say, I think it is. All sorts of drug pushers. They can dump the money in there and hide it away. So the brokers, they put into toxic housing shelters. They did. I reported the Green Party. They had them closed down. I'll do it again. I around one it didn't close them down. They started up again. They changed the policy and fired a few people, but that's good. But I just reported to the Auditor General. Because it's causing mental health issues. And it's causing more anger, more police problems, more crime. It's not helping. So they don't give a damn about you, those brokers. They said it, housing money, that's another other word, commodity. Never has been a commodity. It's been a right for Canadians. Do I think a man should live in a box? No, I don't think so. But I sure wouldn't trust that any of those PCs. She said, well, they're conservatives. They're not really. They came from Preston Manning, Reform Party. Reform sounds good, doesn't it? Well, who else reformed things? We had. Why did the American fundamentalism get going in the United States? Well, they reformed. Have a reformation of John Calvinism into the fundamentalism of religion in the United States, witch burning and everything. Yeah, reformed Salem's Lot. They're Puritans, and then they message isn't getting out there. We'll use this Calvinized type of reform. So reform parties really watch the word. So Preston Manning came up with reform. They're not conservative. Is Scott Morrison liberal? He's like us, like the PCs. He's libertarian liberal. So he's energy sector pocket line in Australia. Now you got the Labour Party change. They were the ones that said, let's try to have a referendum on this Canberra vote. That sounds like democracy. Democracy for all Australians. No, the referendum got shot down because of media stuff. Seems like it doesn't work too good. But I think they're going to open up the referendum again. Here, they just shut it down. You know, a lot of people don't know things that were 20 years ago that didn't manifest. They were building the the elevator here. They said, blow it up, blow it up. He went in there and took pictures. And he said, I don't know if I'd want to blow that place up. Those walls are 5 feet thick. You're going to take a lot of explosives. Well, they had on the Millennial projects for that thing, and they're on Facebook asking what's happened. Look at the 2020 vision. Never heard of it. There's new people here. They want to save it. It was in there. We wrote it in 2000. Millennium come up. They're great ideas, very creative. It's just been rotting under the PCs. I really don't think much of them. They had a coup. I was talking to a man that's a liberal. He writes for. He wants to get rid of PCs, and he's what do you call it? I met him. He's a publisher up here. Wants to get the bastards out of here. So I talked to the Green Party. When did you figure this out, Greg, that they're ruining this area? Long time ago. Good, good. You're not that stupid. Thank you, Pete. You've been in the Green Party of Ontario for a long time. And you helped promote Elizabeth May. I really like you. You're an older guy and we get along good. But he says, when did you figure that out? I knew they were blocking things here. Oh, hell yeah. I go up the highway there and I'm sitting there. Liberal funded. Don't want to go there. So they made all the cars come in here, which I call kettling. It's a noisy town. They didn't like the idea of the Liberal project bypasses the town. So I'm up there and I'm sitting in the coffee shop. It's Tim Hortons just outside there. And it goes right up to Blue Mountain. And it's quiet. And it's got roundabouts to slow the traffic down. I'll make it a friggin' speedway. If this is good, tell me. Every hour there's fire trucks, ambulance sirens, rare in the way. There's a causes accidents having a freeway. And it's just angry people. Oh my lord. You got to the coffee shop, his bumper was about that far out. He was in Starbucks and I laughed. I said, boy, that guy's not happy with your bumper. He had to just move it a little bit. No, he had to do some extra work there. Get on the phone for him and put all fingers up and have maybe one foot on the steering wheel while he had one foot on the accelerator. What an idiot. There's so much anger since COVID, and it's intensified. This town is a garbage pit. It was a nice town. Is that liberal? I think it's media, it's conservative, and rubbish. It's just a dump. It was a nice town. I grew up here and it was all liberal. And it's all lies. So, get into another talk here. Ray Day, Bob Ray, they didn't like him. He have to work for nothing. Oh, as government employees, what was that? Sometimes you take a day off or something. The economy was bad, but he threw him out of the NDP. He crossed the bench to the Liberals. Bob Ray, he's a good politician. I hate Bob Ray. They want all the money and not make austerity to change the country. A guy said that he was a therapist. And he dropped out. He says they're all idiots, all those type there. He showed me his past. He says, all idiots in mental health. Yeah. Assisted death now, eh? He says, our souls. I quit. What do you do now? I wouldn't work for them. So we were talking about uh, Flaherty. Remember Flaherty? He was Harper's finance minister. I listened to him. He says, we got to cut back. We got to cut back. He says, I think they killed him. He died like Jack Layton, didn't he? I don't know. But Flaherty said we have to cut back, but we were heading on the film there, on the video. It was Green Party making fun of this. We were listening to Harper shoot his mouth off like a fart. And he just kept on talking, and Flaherty's in the background. They zoomed in the Green Party to point this out. We were having fun back then because we really didn't drink much of Harper. Look at this mouth. How can you say that? He's the finance minister, but he didn't listen to him. And I was listening to him. We got to cut back. So where's the inflation coming from? .com bubble. We are just consuming like a corker. I get thinking, and I was spending a lot of money on my iPhone. I'd look at go on Instagram. Don't have that on there. There's all sorts of apps. Click it on. You just spend $30 subscription. It's crazy. You can get on it for so fast if your card's hooked up to it. You got no money. So that's how they're doing it. .com. You know, this is Chromebook, but I use Bing better. Chromebook seems to be getting me the wrong information. I think it's gone downhill, Google. I really think so. And the anaerobes here, I wish they'd quieten it down. I block these channels. I don't want to see them. Back again. I have an issue with the anaerobes on YouTube and Google search engine. So I started doing with Yahoo and those others. People will transition. If you ask a question, maybe the GPS is good, GTS chat. You ask a question or you're searching or something. What do you get? Reddit or Qualo? They're opinion places. They're not information. It's I like data and information, not somebody giving their opinion. It's like going to Apple now, and you got a problem with your phone. It's just a bulletin board of questions there and what they think it is. It's not text. I think a lot of companies are going like that. Put a bulletin board of complaints up. It doesn't seem to go anywhere. It's just a place to voice your opinion of other mad customers. Think of this. I think the tech companies are not working right. I think she said we're losing. They got used to the easy money. They're not improving things. They're. What do you think? What do you think? So I go back to Yahoo and Bing by Microsoft. I'm thinking of going on a Microsoft computer for my business. A good one that's got a hard drive that's going to store a lot of data. It's going to write a book. I like to write music. What would they use? Ableton? Apple was good, but the way the iPhones are going, I don't know. Possible. Exploring. I never thought of exploring things like these phones. Do I buy an Android? I have the security issues with them. Think about it.